They say God created everything, every atom, every force, every law of nature, everything we see, and everything we don't. Cool. I'll give you that. Let's roll with it. Let's say God is the first cause, that nothing exists unless he made it, that the entire universe is contingent on him, no exceptions. But now we've got a problem, because evil exists. So what do we do with that? If God is the cause of everything, and evil exists, then either God created evil, or evil came from somewhere else. And if evil came from somewhere else, then God didn't create everything, which means he's not the first cause anymore. Oops, you just broke the contingency argument, because now we have two forces, God and something else that produces evil. Two sources, two necessary beings, and in philosophy, that's called dualism, and it wrecks the whole theological framework. So most theists try to dodge. They say, no, evil isn't a thing. It's not something that exists. It's just the absence of good. Like darkness is the absence of light. Like cold is the absence of heat. Like a hole in a donut. Cute metaphor. But it falls apart the second you think about it. Because God is supposed to be omnipresent. He's everywhere. All the time. In all places. So if evil is the absence of God, and God is never absent, then evil shouldn't exist. Unless God is present where evil exists. Which means he's watching it happen. Allowing it. Sustaining the universe where it plays out. So you can't say evil is just a lack of God. When God is literally everywhere. All the time. Including in the room where the evil is happening. That metaphor collapses. Completely. You can't say evil is where God isn't. And also say there's nowhere God isn't. It doesn't work. Wherever a war is happening, God is there. Wherever a child is dying of bone cancer, God is there. Wherever someone is tortured, abused, or brutalized, God is there. Not metaphorically, literally. Present, watching, sustaining the system that makes it all possible. That's what omnipresence means. You don't get to turn it off, just because it makes you uncomfortable. So now we're stuck. If God created everything, and evil exists, then he's responsible. If he didn't create evil, then something exists outside of him, and he's no longer the first cause. Either way, the story doesn't hold up. You don't get to say, God made everything, and then carve out this convenient exception. You don't get to call him the first cause, and then blame evil on someone else. You don't get to worship an all-powerful, all-good creator, while pretending the bad stuff just slipped in. Evil isn't a cosmic glitch. It's either part of creation, or it's not. And if it's not, then God didn't create everything. And if he didn't, then what are we even worshiping? And let's not forget, the same people who say evil is just the absence of good will turn around and talk about Satan like he's a real force, a being of evil, a threat, an enemy. So is evil a shadow or a creature? Is it just a lack of good? Or is it a thing with power and presence and goals? Because if evil has influence, if it tempts, deceives, destroys, then it's not just an absence, it's a presence. And if it's a presence, then you're right back to asking where it came from. Who made it? Who allows it? Spoiler alert, you're still stuck with God, the omnipresent, all-knowing, all-powerful first cause. The one you say created everything, and sees everything, and sustains everything, including this. So no, you don't get to say evil is just a lack of good, while defending a God who's supposedly everywhere. Because a lack only works if something is actually missing, and God, by definition, is never missing.